Hello guys, it's me KingStix and I'm going to be playing some support Fiddlesticks today. These are my runes and masteries. If you're interested, just go back and pause them and look at them. They're pretty self-explanatory, pretty much the best stuff you can pick on support Fiddlesticks in my opinion, and even jungle Fiddlesticks. Those are the same runes and masteries for the most part that I run on jungle Fiddlesticks. The only difference is basically the runes. So starting it off, you're always going to want to start your crow 9 out of 10 times. It's the Fiddlestick support. You see all that damage I did there? I just did about half of Jin's HP, and I did about a fifth of Leona's HP. Right there with just a few auto attacks and crows. Notice how I'm abusing Leona. Since she is level 1, she has no way to punish me, because if she started her E, she has no way to stun me and hold me still. And so I know she started her Q, so I can just auto attack her for free. And watch how I'm zoning them off of the minions. I'm walking in between our minions and their minions, pushing them off the minions, so if that way, if they want to get a minion, they're going to have to go through me. So like you saw there, Jin went into trade for me. I hit level 2, immediately leveled up my drain, threw my crow and started draining him, so the crow kept bouncing off of him and the minions, because whoever you're draining, your crow will actually prioritize that target. So there, Jin was silly. He turned around to try to punish me for zoning him, and he got punished heavily. And I also punched Leona too with my crow. It does insane damage. We're going to be taking our fear at level 3 and maxing it last. We're actually going to be maxing our crow first, because maxing fear sucks dick, because fear doesn't really do anything. It doesn't level up very hard. There was a very unfortunate situation. If you have them under the turret, you can poke them, but be very careful, because if it's someone like Leona, they will go in on you, and she got lucky. She held me right there on the tip of the turret's range, and my crow technically hit Jin at that point, so the turret started targeting me, and it fucked me pretty hard. But I do have biscuits and drain, so I should be fine. So here at level 3, I'm going to take a point in my fear. Like I said, we're going to max our dark winds first, then our drain, and fear last. The reason for this is your fear doesn't really give you any damage. Plus, it's really not that strong if you think about it, because each time you level it up, it only adds 0.25 duration. Plus, usually supports get merc tread, so if you ever fear the support's not going to be doing near as much anyway, so it's just a total waste. But like what you saw there, my crow's doing so much damage, and just Jin went in, I just tossed my crow drain, it nearly killed him all on my own. I've probably done 70% of the damage so far. Your trades are quite simple. If they have no way to hit you back, you're just going to auto attack them. And if they're near one of their own minions, or near their support, or if their support's near their ADC, just throw your crow and it will bounce. But if they are near one of their own minions, feel free to throw a crow and drain them, and it will bounce like crazy. Your Thunderlords is going to be giving you insane extra damage on your burst. You do need to be careful if your ADC isn't with you. You have to be careful about going up for trades, because you will get CC'd and fucked pretty hard like what you saw there. But you can just turn around, toss crow, drain. I did a solid amount of damage. But it is unfortunate, but since I am Fiddlesticks, I can just wait till the minions get to my turret and then drain the one that isn't being prioritized by the turret. Unfortunately, Vayne shot that one there instead of letting me finish it, but it's not too big of a deal. So basically, since we've won lane at this point, we've established our dominance, we've won 2v2, gotten 2 kills, I've secured both of the kills. Now, we just have to wait it out until level 6. Because if we play too aggressive and push lane now, then enemy jungler is definitely going to come, and it's going to be really hard on us. So now if we can try not to push lane too hard and just wait till 6, then we can destroy them for sure, because we have more experience than them. They're going in on us. Leona's already wasted her CC. Hecarim's coming in. I'm just going to toss my crow and back up. I don't want to get snared or CC'd or anything. It wasn't a terrible trade. We did end up losing the trade because we had to back off because of the Hecarim. But if Hecarim wasn't there, what would have happened? Since Leona blew her load on Vayne, she wasted all of her CC on Vayne, I would have just simply turned around, throw my crow and started draining Jin, and just fought through the damage and killed him. Like what you saw here, I was tanking too much minion damage. Plus, when I went to fear and do all my stuff to Jin, I thought Vayne was going to help me, but if you go back and watch it, she was kind of just walking back and forth and didn't actually go in. If she would have went in, it would have only taken her an auto attack and a Q, and we would have killed him, especially since Leona was hitting me with her CC, which stopped my drain. But yeah, so basically, if you're going to Fiddlestick support, hopefully your ADC will follow you up. If you don't think your ADC isn't going to follow you up, try not to stay prolonged. Just throw your Dark Winds, essentially auto attack, and drain briefly to get it to focus target them. I am leaving lane now. It's not I don't recommend leaving lane on your ADC because it's going to screw them. But I don't feel like this Vayne is very competent, and at level 6, I don't think it's going to really work with me and her. I feel like it'd be best for the team if I started to roam. So at this point, I am roaming. On Fiddlesticks, if you feel like you're going to be roaming a lot at level 6, I suggest getting your mobility boots. for your first real item, getting your Frost Fang for your second item. As you can see, my build does look kind of silly, but I am very quick. I can get across the map, and I am level 6 now, so I can start applying a lot of pressure. I could just simply go back bot lane, and we could wreck them. We have a lot of damage. Also, if you go back and watch the part where I die because Vayne didn't help me, she didn't attack Jhin, Quinn also happened to DC there, and I thought she was going to come in, but she like DC'd at the worst time possible, and I ended up dying. Here was just really unfortunate. I go all in, and I end up getting focused down by Leona and Jhin. It wasn't the best just because Leona and Jhin have so much damage, and he went into the brush, and we didn't have a word for it. But it was also because Vayne and Kench were focusing Leona, which is a bad idea because Leona is extremely tanky. You just got to kill Jhin and CC him. If we would have gotten one stun off on Jhin, either through Vayne's stun or Kench's stun, we would have killed him easily and won the fight, hands down, without anybody dying. But it's okay. We're Fiddlestick support. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. Vayne will be okay bot lane for now. Right now, the only thing you have to worry about on Fiddlestick's jungle is if you don't feel comfortable in lane, now you want to secure objectives. So like right here, that first turret you kill is worth an extra 400 gold, but you can only get it once, and both teams can't get it. It's whatever team kills the first turret. So right here, Jin's trying to kill our turret, but since me and R are both top, we get it first. We get the extra bonus gold, so it is technically worth. My ult is up, so I could easily roam bot or go back mid. It's just up to me. Since I do have my mobility boots, I am going to finish up my Frost Fang. The reason for that is it makes your ganks, essentially, your ganks on Fiddlestick support a lot easier. You can gank for free. You can also use it to spot out enemies or to help your teammates escape. It's just a really good item in general. Plus it gives you 10% CDR, a lot of mana regen, and some ability power. But here I have my mobility boots. I was just going to walk up behind Karma and kill her, but since she got close to Kled when Kled went in on me, I just tossed my crow, and it did the rest of the work for me. She probably wasn't expecting me to have maxed my crow, so in her mind, there's no way I could have killed her from my position, but it was really easy. I knew it was going to be a kill. And it was just honestly unfortunate that I died. I'm not going to blame my teammates for it, but if my teammates had seen where I was and that Kled went in on me sooner, Kench could have come and swallowed me, but it's not a big deal. I mean, people learn. Plus, Kled's new to the game and people don't really understand what he does yet. Like, I didn't know his ultimate could turn on me like that. Like, I was off to the side, but his ultimate will just attack whoever's closest to him down the line. It's not actually just going to the spot that he points at. So, our Quinn is losing lane pretty hard. I can't really ult it by myself. I don't have quite enough damage. Here, I see that they're pushing up pretty hard and they want to kill Vayne, so I'm just going to wait. If this bush was warded, they'd be motioning towards it. Plus, I'm looking behind me. They don't seem to know. Ult in, flash, Dark Winds, Drain. Easy kill. Now we're going to go on to Leona now. An important thing to note is I ulted Jhin on his own minions and then immediately crowed and drained. This way the crow would bounce off the minions onto him, and since I was draining him, the crow is going to prioritize him, so it's going to bounce on him 4 times total, which is quite a bit. Oh, I'm sorry, not 4 times total. The crow's going to hit him 3 times total, which is still quite a bit, considering I've maxed it and it's doing a lot of damage. What you saw there, just feared, did the same thing with Leona. Feared, crow, drained immediately to prioritize her, and we pick up another easy kill. A really cool thing about Fiddlestick support is, even though he's not tanky, he has an artificial tanky element to him, because his drain gives him so much HP that if you're ever diving an enemy, and if they can't immediately CC you or burst you, you can tank several tower shots without it really impacting you. So, just a good thing to note. Try to know your limits on Fiddlesticks, how many turret shots you can take, how much health your drain is giving you back, and just things of that nature. If you're going up in a Fiddlestick support, and the enemy bot lane does not have any CC, which is very rare, but say they don't have any CC, then you could theoretically max your drain, which isn't bad because then you can take dragons early with your jungler. But here, same thing. Using my Frost Fang to slow her down, fear, immediately throw my crow to get it out there, and then drain her while my crow's in mid-air, and my crow will still prioritize her. So it'll hit her, then the minion, then her again, then the minion, then her. So like you saw there, we killed her really, really quick. I still have my ultimate and exhaust as well. So whenever your ultimate is up, I forgot to mention this, but whenever your ult's up on Fiddlesticks, you want to try to use it. Here Jin's being greedy. I'm just going to ult him, fear. I'm going to Dark Wind, drain, and it's a free kill. He knew he wouldn't be able to get out of it in time, and he was right. I would have just barely had him, so he just stayed to try to do some extra damage. Since I am already here, I might as well pick up the red, but I figured Hecarim was going to come, so I'm just going to toss my crow and then exhaust. I am getting pretty low, but now I do have my hourglass. After you have your mobility boots and your Frostfang, your Frost Queen's Claim, after you have your mobility boots and your Frost Queen's Claim, it's a really good idea to get your hourglass as your next item because you are going to be very squishy. Plus, your hourglass isn't that expensive, and it synergizes on your kit very well. People think you're squishy, plus you can use it with your ultimate. They try going on you, you click it. Also, Hourglass does give you cooldown reduction, which is very nice. Right now, I'm sitting on 26% cooldown reduction. At level 18, it would be 30% cooldown reduction, which is quite a bit for only having 2 CDR items. Jhin is just so annoying. There's a reason Jhin is getting nerfed here coming up pretty soon. I don't believe they're actually nerfing Jhin, but they're nerfing his items, which is the Yosumatsu's and that one Death Mark item. I forget what it's called. The Dusk Blade. They're nerfing Yosumatsu's and it's not Yosumatsu's, it's Yomu's Ghost Blade and Dusk Blade. They're going to be nerfing it for range champions, so that way people like Jhin aren't bullshit OP. Like, he shreds people so easily, he does so much damage, and he's strong at every point of the game. Jhin doesn't have a weak early game, he doesn't have a weak mid game, he doesn't have a weak late game. He's just constantly strong. But here, just like you see, a classic Fiddlesticks support gank. I use my Frost Queen's Claim, send him out. I'm so fast with my mobility boots that I just ran her down as the ghost was running her down. Ran up to her, feared, Dark Winds, drain, free kill, and now I have my ultimate. So now I can just sit, wait in the bush. Quinn doesn't have full HP and she's all by herself, so she's essentially baiting without knowing it. She's the bait. I'm the hammer. I'm just going to ult in, fear Hecarim, drop my crow, and start draining him. I didn't get the kill because nobody helped me, but I did push him off the fight. Kled comes in, I hourglass his damage, and then he ends up going on to somebody else. I just throw some CC at him and you can kill Kled pretty easy, like with what you saw there. I don't really want to let Hecarim get away since he's been doing so much damage to our team. I just kind of want to shut him down, so I'm just going to flash fear for it. It's not too big of a waste because, I'm technically a support, so a support using his flash to secure a kill on an enemy jungler is always a pretty good trade. Right now I am 10-5-5, so I am carrying pretty hard. I'm not being cocky or bragging, it's just a fact. I am carrying and contributing quite a lot to this team, especially for my role and character. Whenever you do get a kill on an enemy team or you have an opportunity to take Dragon as Fiddlesticks, feel free. Even if you didn't max or drain, if you just have a few points in it, you can still tank Dragon, pretty much come out with full HP, and it's not a big deal. You could just 2-man it with your jungler, ADC, do it pretty quick. And Dragons are really better than ever. They help you snowball the game so hard. If you look at our team comp, it's really not that good. We have 2 ADCs, and then a bruiser and a tank, and then me. Say I was like a Soraka, our team wouldn't have the right amount of damage. Our team would be missing so much magic damage that if I was Soraka or Karma, it just really wouldn't work. But the fact that I'm Fiddlesticks and can ult in and shred the whole enemy team is keeping us in this game and allowing us to succeed. I know that sounds really conceited, but it's the truth. Sometimes Fiddlestick support is a better choice than picking a traditional support. Come in here, get Jhin and Hecarim. I don't quite get Hecarim. I do get Jhin. I wish Tahm Kench would have been in there earlier baiting on the turret, so that way they would have been more committed and a lot closer to the turret, so my ult could have done a lot more damage. But we do pick up 2 kills. I am going to die here, but trading 2 for 2 when they've already killed 3 of us isn't a terrible trade, plus it stopped them from taking all of our turrets. Here I didn't want to go in Tahm Kench's mouth because I knew he was going to try to suicide me. Just going to drop my Frost Queen's Claim, ult in, fear Jhin, drop the crow, and my hourglass isn't up unfortunately, but I did blow. I believe I got Jin's heal. Plus we are going to end up killing all 3 of them, which is not a bad trade. Once again, your Fiddlestick support. So dying for getting 4 kills is not a bad trade. It was really greedy for Hecarim to go back in there, but he's greedy. But like I was saying earlier, there's people can get really stuck in thinking on meta picks, and of course meta picks are meta for a reason. They tend to be the best pick for your team in general. There's the strongest, safest pick. But think about it this way. Say I was Soraka or Sona. How am I going to stop the Leona ultimate or a Hecarim ultimate? I really can't. The Leona and Hecarim ultimate are going to come in no matter what, and I can't stop it. And if it hits me, I'm going to be fucked. Of course, it's the same thing with Fiddlesticks, but the difference is with Fiddlesticks, I can stand way the fuck back. And when they go in on my team, then I can ult in and mess them all up really, really bad. But I don't have that option with a traditional support like Sona or Soraka. They just don't have that damage, and they can't go in and just shred enemies like that. And overall, I honestly do believe picking Fiddlesticks support was the best support I could have picked this game. If I would have picked anything else, I honestly don't know if we would have won. Maybe if I would have picked something like a Zerath support, we still would have had a good chance, but I think Fiddlesticks was the best pick. Here it was unfortunate. You saw she was like standing in my ultimate, and I have Aurelia's now. I like to get my Moby Boots, Frost Queen's Claim, and then my Aurelia's pretty quick. But like you saw there, she was like standing in the edge of it, and it wasn't slowing her, so she was just a few pixels away from being dead. Because Tom Kent was coming in, I was just going to fear him, we're going to kill her. But here, like I said, there comes in the Leona ultimate, couldn't stop it. Hecarim comes in, he didn't even have to ult. They start killing all of us. Quinn isn't even with us, and Nara's coming to the fight late. He's coming late enough to where we're all dead anyway, so he's going to just end up dying, so it's a bit of a waste. Like I was saying on my items, I like to get the parts to the Frost Queen's Claim. I like to get the Fiendish Codex and upgrade my Spell Thief's Edge. Then I like to get my mobility boots so I can roam around and do whatever the fuck I want. After I've done that, then I'll get my mobility boots, and then I'll get my Hourglass, and then Rylaia's, and then I can build whatever I want. Typically I'll get a Void Staff at that point, or an Abyssal Scepter depending on what the enemy team has. They don't have that much magic damage, so I just went for the Void Staff. But if they would have had an AP top laner, I definitely would have went for the Abyssal. So here in the team fight, I'm just sticking on the outskirts. I'm not trying to go in too deep. I end up fearing Jhin and getting him out of the fight, but he ends up flashing for me, and he ends up finishing me using his OP Youmu's. So we do end up losing another fight. This is probably the third failed team fight in a row. And pretty much the reason why we're losing these is because we're not really grouped when it happens. We're really disorganized. Like in that fight, Nar wasn't even there, and I didn't have my ultimate up. I couldn't get my ultimate off, so of course we're gonna lose it. But when you find yourself in these kind of situations, if you're playing the support, just try to play to your strengths. So what I would need to look for right now is pinging my teammates off every fight that my ultimate isn't up. Like I could spam back away, and just type in chat my ultimate's not up, or I could just alt left click my ult and it will say it in chat that, oh, my ult's up in like 40 seconds or something. Because people really need to understand that. Because when you play Fiddlestick support, you'll have these amazing team fights where you fucking destroy them. There's no counterplay and they all just die. And your teammates are like, oh my god, I'm so overpowered. We're winning so easily. And they don't realize that most of it was in fact the Fiddlestick support, because you CC'd an enemy carry. Your ultimate did about half of everybody's HP, and they don't realize that. So they start trying to fight, not even thinking, they don't even think, oh, it's Fiddlestick's ult up. They don't even think that. So you have to make them aware of it and ping them off when your ult isn't up and when you don't want to fight. So here, the enemy team is being really stupid. We end up catching the Leona, and since I have the Rylaia's, she's not getting away because I'll just drain her and it'll perma-slow. Same with the Hecarim, he comes in and try to save her. We just kill him as well. Very easy. This is a bad Baron. We're all low on mana and low on health. I see Jin's ulting. I'm just going to ult in on him. Fear. Do pretty much all of his health. But he has a Maw, apparently. He has a Maw. He healed himself, and Karma shielded him, so there's no way in hell I was going to be able to kill him all by myself. It's fine, though. I stopped his ultimate. Kled's being pretty ballsy right here. Vayne does end up killing Jhin, but Jhin kills her. I honestly don't know what happened there because I wasn't watching it. But in the end, we traded 2 deads for 1 kill. Since we already had Hecarim and Leona dead, we just killed Jhin but lost to Quinn and a Vayne. It was a really bad Baron call since 3 of them were up, and we were all pretty low on HP and mana. It wasn't a good Baron call. We should have just baited Baron or pushed mid in the meantime. It's not too bad though. We did kill Jin, and I know his Ma is down, so next team fight, I'll have my ult up. Here Tom Kench does give me blue, because before, I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of bitched at him a little bit. I was like, Kench, just give me the blue. I was like, it's not very good on you, just give it to me. So he does end up giving it to me, but ironically enough, I just end up dying. Our team isn't really grouped together. Me and Kench are out too far, trying to stop the dragon. And the enemy team just ends up catching us and boning us pretty hard. I mean, their whole team is essentially lockdown and brawl. And since two of our teammates were doing Baron for some reason, we couldn't really fight it. It was a bad play on my part. I should have just recognized it and backed off. So I'll take responsibility for that. That was my bad. But what we do know right now is Leona's ult is down, Hecarim's ult is down, and Jin's ult is down, and my ult is up. So next team fight, we'll definitely crush them. They won't really have a play. The enemy team didn't even do the dragon. They just went straight for our inhibitor, because apparently they're feeling really rushed right now, since they were coming back from a deficit, and now they're starting to get ahead on us. They're just trying to end it because they don't want to feel the game slip from their fingers. So right now they're just playing greedy, trying to get the inhibitor instead of just taking the free dragon. Luckily, we did get the Baron. I'm excited that we got the Baron. If we didn't get the Baron, man, we'd be in a really bad spot, because they could have just gone for Baron while we were dead, taking it. Drop the Frost Queen's claim. Gonna drop my Crow, my W. Pick up a pretty free kill on Karma. Leona did ult me. Apparently her ult has a very low cooldown. The enemy team's starting to come in, so I'm backing up. And look, I'm standing on my 80 carry so I can just fear Hecarim off of her so I can pill for her. I see they're going back in on my teammates. Kench is dead. So I am just going to charge up my ult, go in, bam, fucking fear Jin, drop my Crow, start draining Hecarim. I get a triple kill, kill every single one of their carries. I kill literally like all of their damage. Hecarim, Jin, Karma, and they all had pretty much full HP. Karma had about half, Hecarim had about 3/4, and Jin was like full HP and just absolutely shredded them. And you can see I have a full build Fiddlesticks late game, 36 minutes into the game, total full build. And like you see, my full build's just mobility boots, Frost Queen's Claim, Hourglass, Rylaia's, Void Staff, and Abyssal. The Abyssal and the Void Staff are the primary source of damage, because you're just shredding them. Your ult has really high base damage, just 325. But you really can't overlook the extra cooldown reduction you're getting from Frost Queen's Claim, Hourglass, and Abyssal, 10% each. If you do have enough gold at some point, sell your Frost Queen's Claim, since you do have a Rylaia's. Your Rylaia's will give you enough slow that you need. But if you do have enough gold at one point, sell your Frost Queen's Claim. Like I said, if you do have Rylaia's and get a Rabadon, it's going to give you way, way, way more damage. It's going to be worth sacrificing the 10% CDR. And it's just going to give you a lot of damage since you have so much Pierce anyways. Here, Hecarim, that was a terrible engage. I guess Hecarim didn't think I was there, so when he saw me, he like pooped his pants. Vayne's coming in. They're starting to engage really hard over here, so I don't want to risk them engaging in and me not going in. So I'm just going to toss my Crow, Hourglass, and I end up killing Leona. Like you saw, she tried to run, but my ult just tore her up. Did quite a bit of damage. We end up pushing them off the fight. End up just finish diving, getting plenty of kills. And the enemies, there's really no counterplay for them. The Hecarim butched the fight really hard. But like you saw there, with Fiddlesticks, try not to start fights with your ultimate unless it's really free. Like if you know for a fact they don't have vision of you and they're standing within ult range over a wall. 9 times out of 10, don't start fights with your ult. Use your ultimate as a counter punch. Your ultimate is the ultimate counter punch in League of Legends. If they start attacking your team and they're going balls deep, they're using their gap closing spells and CC on your team, then you ult in and you'll mess them up and just ruin them. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. I really do hope you enjoyed this Fiddlesticks support commentary. I do hope you learned something. If you want to let me know what I could improve on or what you enjoyed in this video, just let me know down below. I'll enjoy getting back to you guys. Peace out. Yeah.